Well, I'm going to go ahead and just get started. But what I'm doing tonight is I'm going to be shaving with a really unique razor. I've only seen one other like this out there anywhere. And actually, it was kind of ironic because I found this razor on a Facebook group and I immediately had to have one. So I had to look around and I actually found it dirt cheap. I mean, dirt cheap, like 10 bucks. Um, but without further ado, we'll go ahead and show it to you guys. Now, the head is from a Stolly Live Blade. The original head is a Bakelite plastic base, and the top cap is, I can't really tell. I can't tell if it's chrome-plated Zamac or what. It's really interesting. I can shave on one side with this head, but not the other, and it's a little janky, so I'm not going to be using that tonight. But I'm going to be kind of talking about the differences. If you guys know me, you know I'm really into very complex razors. Eric, buddy, what's up? And Eric, we were just talking about mechanically complex razors. But you guys know I like the Stolly Live Blade. I like the mechanism. The only tricky thing with the Stolly Live Blade, and sorry if the volume or the sound isn't that good, I don't have my mic hooked up to the phone. It's just literally everything you're hearing from me is coming from the phone. But when you twist the Stolly Live Blade, you're twisting the base, that knob at the bottom, and it vibrates. You guys can probably hear that. And it vibrates the head. Now the head on the Stolly is very different than virtually every other razor head out there. The reason for that being that this has a spring on either side of the head, which causes this to vibrate back and forth, which really gives you that shave that they advertise. Well, this sucker is really cool because what you do with this is you wind it up like so. Excuse me. And I actually completely disassembled this. I'll post pictures later, but I completely disassembled it. Super easy. Got to see the inner workings, the mechanisms, all that stuff. Yo, Mike, what's up, buddy? Riley, Mike. There aren't as many Mikeys or Michaels dropping in on the chats anymore, so maybe I can just call you Michael. I'll just call you Riley. I don't care. But we're going to be doing a live shave tonight for like the first time in a while. But I'm showing off a razor that I picked up the other day. I've completely, washed this thing inside and out. It's pretty awesome. Can you hear me now? But essentially what we're doing here is you twist this. Meh, I like Riley. All right, Riley it is. You twist the knob at the bottom. You got this excellent button right here. And it vibrates. The cool thing is you can start and stop it whenever you want. My Stolly is still vibrating when I put it on the countertop, and you can't control that, which I've never really cared for. The cool thing about this though, the push of a button, and it's the same kind of idea as the Stolly, but you're just winding it up. It's like a clockwork mechanism in there. When you take it apart, you can actually see all the gears moving together and the spring that's causing the vibration. But it's excellent. This sucker is cool. I haven't shaved with it though. This is going to be the first shave. I've got my tungsten Persona 74 blade in here. So I'm really looking forward to using that in here because I had like the best shave of my life with this blade the other night with the Gillette single ring. I have a sample from Gentleman's Nod. This is the Vincent, and it smells divine. I can't recall the scent notes, but it's like semi-sweet. It's delicious. Oh, it's wonderful. It's very nice, beautiful fragrance. I might actually end up picking one of these up. Honestly, I really liked the other one too, the 85. I think it's called Ernest. That was really good. I was really impressed with the soap base. But I also picked up this nifty little bowl from the antique shop. It's actually a replica of some famous bowl. I don't care. It's perfect for what I use it for because I can literally hold it like this and do everything, but you guys can kind of see that milky bloom water in there, which is going to be perfect for my face. Which is honestly, when I'm testing out not razors, but software, when I'm testing out soaps, one of the things that I'm looking for is bloom water. It's not a must, but I'm always curious to see how different soaps are going to perform in the blooming or pre-soaking process. Some do a lot better than others, and some have great performance during the shave, but are really, really poor bloom water, which is weird. But I like using typically the bloom water from the soap rather than an actual pre-shave. But it's milky. It looks like coconut water. Oh, it smells really good. Honestly, no lie, just based on scent alone, which is really nice and strong right now in the bloom, might be one of my favorite scents in soaps. And that's a stretch to say. I've got plenty of soaps and my mind changes all the time. But this is fresh. There's some sort of citrus note in there. It's sweet. It's delicious. It's really nice. All right, so for the brush tonight, we're going to be using the Paragon. I've already pre-soaked it. Yeah, it's still good to go. There's still a little bit of water fluid in here. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to lather up. I hope you guys are having a good night tonight. Good start to your weekend. Like I said, Fridays are now my designated night. So on Fridays, I'm doing shaving stuff. Whether that's just a brief live shave while I'm shaving, or if that's editing and posting YouTube content, which I've got a couple videos I'm going to be posting tonight, working probably a little bit on that podcast. That is primarily what I'm doing after work on Fridays. Maggards meet up. Let me know how that goes, buddy. Jealous. Super jelly. Dip that in some water real quick. You can kind of see some of the lather we got going on so far. And this bowl really serves my purposes really well. One, it's going to look great in Shave of the Day photos, which is, I'm not afraid to say it, but one of the things that I do consider when I'm buying a bowl is how it's going to look in photos. Is it something I want to show off? And this is beautiful. It's like a sterling pewter. Really nice. And the scent, literally in the lather, smells wonderful. I mean, it smells delicious is the best way I can categorize it, but not like a candy delicious. So I say it smells sweet, but it's not like candy. So something that I would say that smells like candied fruits would be Keepsake Fruitcake from PAA. That sucker smells really sweet. It's one of the reasons why I actually didn't care for it at first when I got it, was because it was so sweet. All right, I think we're ready. I absolutely love this brush. Never lets me down. Oh man, this scent really is intoxicating. I'm glad he sent me the Vincent as well. This was a small sample. He gave me the full size of the Earnest. And I like the labels. I wish I brought the label in here. Yo, Def, what's up? But it's very Art Deco-y, which you guys know I like Art Deco stuff. Looks like something the Great Gatsby would shave with. Very nice. And the soap is very creamy, very smooth, very soft. I had a beautiful face lather with it the other day. This is actually my first bowl lather with it in a brand new bowl that doesn't have any ridges or any place for agitation. I'm finding that that's not necessary. I mean, it'll help in building a lather, but once you've got your technique down, you really don't need it. And this bowl is just so easy to hold and to manipulate, and it looks so good. We're looking pretty good. The soap is Vincent by Gentleman's Nod. You can check my most recent post. I'm going to be posting plenty of stuff on this tonight, but you can check my most recent post. I've tagged them in it from last night. I think it was last night. Maybe it was that morning. But let's get into the fun stuff. So I'm going to wind this sucker up again. The weird thing is it winds, so you twist counterclockwise to get it to wind. But like I said, this thing is incredibly easy to take apart completely into super clean. There was some rust and some pitting on certain areas on the actual mechanism itself, so I tried to sand that down a little bit with some Scotch-Brite pads and some 2000 grit sandpaper, and then I put some Rem oil on everything to make sure to preserve it. And it's real interesting to hold too. If its purpose is to bump over or skip over irregularities, you can tell it's definitely doing that. And you can see that it's definitely getting hair and whatnot. Yo, Frank, what's up? But this feels incredibly smooth. And that's, I think, partly because of the tungsten, the Persona 74 in here. I have no idea what this razor is. I found it online. I put the Stolly live blade head on here, but the handle is really unique. I found a guy that was posting about it, knew I had to have one, so I immediately started searching for it, and I found it. Oddly enough, I found the only probably other one of these in existence on eBay for like 10 bucks, and I snagged it up super quick. And I was very happy that I got it. See, and if any of you guys know, because I've recently become super obsessed with the Persona 74 blades, if you guys know of a comparable blade to the Persona 74s as far as how it shaves, I know it's not going to have the same longevity as the Persona 74s because they're tungsten, but I do want to find something that shaves exactly like this. Someone was telling the Pole Silver blades do, but I'm going to wind it up. Actually, I'll try it without winding it and see how it just shaves as I'm holding it. And I will say that when it's vibrating, unlike the Stolly Live Blade, which sometimes I kind of feel like it just gets in the way, it doesn't take batteries. It's got a clockwork mechanism inside. I'm going to post plenty of pictures later that show me with this completely disassembled. I cleaned the whole thing. But it definitely feels a little bit smoother with it wound, which is kind of weird. Because like I was saying, the Stolly Live Blade, it doesn't get a lot of use because sometimes I feel like the handle, the vibrating handle, when it's actually vibrating, kind of doesn't feel all that pleasant at times. You can tell it's getting over irregularities and whatnot, but in true story, this is actually pretty comfortable to hold. You wouldn't think so. Yo, what's up? Sask Shaver, buddy. I know I don't pop on here that often. But like I said, Fridays are my designated day now. Now, am I going to do a live shave every Friday? Probably not. But I will be posting content every Friday. That's the plan anyway. Oh, we got Boston Todd in the house, y'all. Showcasing my razor. Pretty cool. You wind it up and then, there you go, counterclockwise. I've got the Stolly Live Blade head on it. Just barbecuing. Man, I haven't barbecued in a while. I need to go out and do a barbecue. And see, as you can see, there's not a lot of lather on my face, but I'm able to go over spots no problem. Blade buffing's not a problem with this soap. It's very smooth. And this is close to 24 hours worth of growth here. This is 24 hours worth of growth, actually. Right? Barbecue and smoking. I feel you, man. And this is the thing with these Persona 74 blades. One pass honestly does it for me. What I need to do is I need to buy a blade sample pack of like every blade currently made and available out there. I've just been so comfortable with my Astro Superior Platinums because they generally work in any razor I put them in that I'm hesitant to move on to other blades. I'll put a little bit more lather on there, why not? Smells wonderful. Definitely not going to cover this scent up. They need a release. I know they've got a balm or a serum right now. They need to release a splash. Cologne level splash. Got a lot of strength because this is a scent to be proud of. Again, I'm using the the Vincent by Gentleman's Knot. Yo, Gentleman's Knot, what's up? I'm actually using, I know you probably just heard me, but I am using Vincent, and I love it. I was just telling everybody, once you do a splash, like a cologne level splash, be all over that. I tell this to everybody, but especially with a scent like the one that I've got on my face right now, look into solid colognes, man. Because it's a stunning scent. I absolutely am in love with the Vincent. And it's one of those people pleasers. I think this scent would please anybody. It would be good for dates. It would be good for going to work. And see, the cool thing is the more you press on the button, the harder you press on the button, the more intense it can get depending on if it's still wound. And you wind it up a little bit more. So you can kind of control the level to which it vibrates, which you cannot do with the Stolly. It is interesting to shave with, though. I'm trying to get used to myself. Don't let me nicking myself fool you. This is an incredibly smooth blade. I would not say aggressive at all, but I would definitely say efficient. My face has rarely been this smooth with as little effort as possible. And I haven't gone against the grain, but there is nothing to go against the grain with. And the Stolly head is famous for being a very mild razor. People put this on their other razors all the time instead of using the handle itself. People will buy the Stolly light blades just for the head. Because again, you're looking at something that is gold-plated, like brass or copper underneath. It's not Zamac, which is nice. But again, guys, I will be posting detailed pictures of this completely disassembled, close up, all that fun stuff. The original head for it was this, the plastic base plate, and I think a Zamac head on there. What I think would be really cool, I think it'd be really easy to take these two pieces, and to have someone make them out of wood. You could have a real looker on your hands with the turning knob and the gold accents and stuff. Oh man, it could look gorgeous. And it would be really easy to send these individual pieces off to be replated. But like I said, when the shaving cream is gone, or when the shaving soap is gone, it's still incredibly slick. You just wet your blade a little bit and it just glides right on over. Very impressed with the soap. And the scents are unique. I've not smelled anything the same as Ernest or Vincent. I've not smelled anything that I could compare the scent profile with. DJ, what's up? Seagull, what's up? Lancaster, Nico. For those of you just watching, you can see the knob turning there because it's moving along with the vibrations. But you can hear it. I can adjust how much it vibrates depending on how I push that button. And I have no idea what this razor is. I know this is a Stolly live blade head, but the actual handle, not a clue. When I bought it, because I saw one on Facebook, a guy that found one was wanting more information about it, and all I could tell him was what I knew about the Stolly blade. All I knew what to look for was vibrating razor, and I happened to spot one, but this is one of two I've ever seen. And I was incredibly lucky. I mean, incredibly lucky. Put my glasses on so I can see what's going on here. And the nice thing about the tungsten blades, not sure why they don't make the Persona 74s anymore, but being made out of tungsten, they last considerably longer than your normal double-edged razor blades. Yep, I did nick myself a little bit there. I thought I did. That's just because I was being an idiot. Because again, the head of the Stolly is famous for being a very mild one, but the Persona 74 really ups the ante there. This was the bowl that I built my lather out of tonight. Paragon handle with Plisson type knot. Really nice setup. And the thing I like a lot about this soap is once you're washing it off and you really see how your face feels, silky smooth. Silky smooth. Now what I've been doing is to keep the scent going, I've just been using a little bit of Thayer's. And then I'm going to be following that up with the Mysterium Serum by PAA. It's kind of come around to be a must. Man, see you later. Thanks for stopping in. But I will be posting some more content tonight. I'm working on it actually. I wanted to have my shave first and then kind of get into the other stuff. Excited to post some of this stuff because I want to show you guys what it was like shaving off my mustache with just the prismatic. It blew my mind. I considered the prismatic pretty much clog proof, but I really found out that was the case once I shaved my mustache off. That was several months of growth and it's just shearing it off. And I wash it out of habit, but you don't even need to rinse out that razor for it to continue to shave, and I show that later on in that shave, that you can just keep going. But if you guys want a really good unscented option for like a balm, make your face feel really smooth, feel fantastic, the Mysterium Serum, man. Really good stuff. And I waited a while to get this stuff. Doug didn't send it to me. I bought it myself and was really impressed by it. Really impressed by it. I've used it in almost every shave since. Almost. There's a few shaves where I really want to showcase the scent and I don't want a lot of anything layering on top of it to prevent that from projecting out. So last night I didn't use it because I really enjoyed the scent of Ernest from Gentleman's Nod. And I just used Thayer's unscented. Love this stuff. Love Thayer's. I don't use it enough anymore. I love that stuff. But I kind of showcased the razor again so that way those of you that are jumping in can see what we were looking at. Clean that off a little bit. And I rinsed this whole thing off. I put it through the ringer as far as getting this whole thing taken apart, washing all the parts down, sanding some of the parts down to make them nice and smooth. This is what we're looking at. Oh yeah, I need to wind it again. And it winds counterclockwise. You can hear it. Isn't that cool? I just saw that and I was like, that is just too cool. That is going to look really cool when I'm posting pictures of this sort of thing. I've also got something else coming in that I think you guys are going to like. I'm real curious to see what you guys have had as far as experiences with the toggle. You guys know what I'm talking about. Because a lot of people, they love the toggle for what it is. And again, I love mechanically complex razors, but a lot of people really like the toggle because of its history. It was made for pretty much just a year. And it's very complex. Some people refuse to replate them, not because of the materials that are in them, but how difficult they are to take apart, put back together, etc. They're afraid of breaking them. I get that. They're really limited. But I was lucky to get a toggle, and when that gets here, that'll be fun to showcase. Duck, it's gonna blur. Right? It does kind of like, it was funny though, because when I first saw it, I thought absolutely, I was like, oh man, that looks absolutely incredible. But when you really think about it, this razor kind of looks like an engorged tick. Just a little bit. Still really cool though. It's not like the Stolly, which has got like a big donk. But I like the Stolly Live Blade. I appreciate it for what it is. I like again, love the clockwork mechanism in here. If you've ever seen one of these, there's actually pictures of these cut in half. You can see the inner workings of them, but really nice, complex, precision-made items, and it feels like quality. It really does. That's the thing I like about the Stolly. It's really nice. It's got a lot of heft to it. The plating on these are generally really good. They're not used that often, so you can pick up a Stolly super cheap. I mean, like dirt cheap. Like you're stealing it cheap. They should be worth a lot more than they are, and I'm surprised that they aren't. Which honestly makes me wonder, you're looking at all these artisans today And I know artisans are a different picture. Let's go bigger picture. These companies that are selling these razors and asking ridiculous amounts of money for these razors because of how they're constructed or how they're built, and yet you can go online, you can buy a super complex razor like the Stolly Live Blade for $15-30, and that's it. I mean, you can find these all day long, super cheap prices. I regularly see them for $15-20 on the Bay, on Etsy. Etsy is like one of my big go-to places. I haven't seen one in person though, so I haven't seen one like out in the wild in antique shops and stuff. And I don't know how you guys rinse off your brushes, but especially with synthetics, they usually have a problem of really retaining some of that lather deep down, so I have to wash it, rinse it a few times, really try to wring it out, give it a few shakes, put it back through the towel, and try to really dry down those bristles. Yeah, I pretty much got it now. Just a normal routine for me. Highland, what's up? I know I haven't been on in a while, but I'm actually going to be posting some more content tonight of some various things. So I'm excited to do that so that way you guys can get that on the tube, and then I may or may not do a podcast tonight. But yeah, I love this brush. It's one of my favorites. JB over at Distorted Edge Shaving, he's the one that turned me on to these, and I need to get their other handle offerings too, because he does these in badger hair, but he also does these in the plissons. You can get these on Amazon. He's Canadian based though. Whoa, lighting. He's Canadian based though. You know all about that, Highland. All those Canadian artisans, man, they're up to something. I don't know what it is, but I have yet to try a Canadian product that I couldn't appreciate or didn't admire. And a lot of that goes into stuff like the Christopher Bradley Carve. You've got Paragon, you've got Highland, very high-end, very nice quality products coming out of Canada. And it's just nice to see that. Tallow and Steel is really the only bad experience I've had, and that was because of the Merchandise 7X, but even then, while my face was melting off of my body, I could still really appreciate the base. The Tallow and Steel has a wonderful performing soap base. But, just look at that. Look at how that looks. All tidied up. Isn't that just cool? Looks neat. You should see how it hangs on some of my razor hangers. It's really cool. But I hope you guys are having a good night. I'm going to finish up with some of the stuff that I've got going on as far as filming things, posting stuff. It's always great chatting with you guys. You know that I love doing that. I love jumping on. I am also, can't wait to showcase this a little bit more. You can see how wonderfully dense the brush is. It's a silver tip badger knot. This is the Holy Black limited edition handle. Made of buffalo horn, so it's got some good heft to it. Most of that animal funk is out of there now. I actually can't smell any animal funk. The handle was actually smelled worse than the bristles itself. The handle smelled horrible because it's actually made of buffalo horns. It's got some of that buffalo smell to it. But probably the densest brush I own. That thing is insanely dense. I keep going back and forth on what my favorite brush is, like my favorite overall brush to use. I've been doing a lot of face lathers lately, and with that it really does vary. I like a lot of different stuff, but you guys can kind of hear how smooth that is. Just really nice, super smooth, did really well. Part of that is because of the Stolly Live Blade head. Other part of that is the Persona 74 tungsten blade in here. But, you know, again, some of the stuff that I pick up, like the bowl for instance, and some of the other razors, I picked up a Valet Auto Strop today. Pretty cool. But most of the stuff that I find, I try to jump to my local antique shops and do that. I build a relationship with them. They'll reach out to me, let me know when they've got something cool in. They'll make really good deals for me on stuff. And so I'll usually run out of there like a champ with some really good haul. And I'm always keeping my eye peeled. The nice thing is over the past couple of years, you really build an eye for this sort of thing. You know which booths are going to have razors and which aren't. You know which razors to take and which to pass on. When I was first starting and I was going to antique shops and stuff, I would see a razor and I'd freak out. I didn't care what it was. I didn't know if it was worth anything. I was always posting in the groups, hey guys, I found this. What do you think? Should I pick it up? Is it worth the price they're asking or whatever? Now, generally speaking, I know, if it's valuable enough to pick up, or if it's something I've been wanting to try, because maybe it's a unique razor. Like, I love the Gillette Tech razors. There's plenty of those at my local antique shops. I regularly see gems, various gem razors. I see a lot of Gillette Slims, see tons of Slims actually, and I used to freak out when I saw a Slim. Used to see a lot more Black Beauties. I think I sold all of my Black Beauty razors. Maybe I have one left. They were okay. And I occasionally see the Fat Boy, but they usually have hinge problems with the doors. So I've only gotten lucky and found one, and that was actually my girlfriend, Tip, that found the Gillette Fat Boy for me and got it for me. So that was really sweet. But anyways, guys, I'm done. I'll take some pictures to post tonight about this razor close up and in detail. So I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy your barbecuing, guys, out there. And I will talk to you later. Stay tuned for the content I'll be posting later on.